So summer break is finally here. You don't have school anymore. You don't have to listen to anyone talk to you about quadratics or the cell cycle or Newton's third law of thermometers. You finally get 3 months to yourself without any distractions. Not to say that school is a distraction, but let's be honest, the things you learn aren't that beneficial. But you have 3 months now to really do things that are going to be beneficial for you in the short term and the long term. And while everyone else is out partying in their summer, staying up late, playing video games, just ultimately wasting time, you are different. You want to actually take advantage of this summer and really improve yourself in this next 3 months. And for that, I truly applaud you. I respect the fact that you don't want to just waste this time, right? And that's why you clicked on this video. And so that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about key habits that you can build this summer that are really going to improve your life in the short term and the long term. The first thing that you want to really work on this summer is to not compare yourself to other people, kind of, with a little asterisk, because it's honestly one of the most cliche things that are said, right? Don't compare yourself to other people. And that's only partially true. Naturally, as humans, we're going to compare. It's almost in our biological nature to kind of compare ourselves to the people in our society in order to rank ourselves on the hierarchy, see where we kind of fit in. So this whole notion of, just only focus on yourself and compare yourself to who you were yesterday, it's only partially true, because you don't want to compare yourselves with people that are way above you, right? Or even way below you. But what you do want to do is compare yourself to people who are sort of on the same level, because competition is healthy, right? Competition will force you to push yourself and bring out the best in you. The problem nowadays, especially with social media, is that now that we can see people from all across the world that aren't just in our sort of bubble or our community, you see the extremes, right? You see these people that have been just grinding for years and years and years. And sometimes it is demotivating to kind of see that and just be like, I'm nowhere near that, right? I'm putting all this work in, but I'm nowhere near where they are. But you also have to realize is that you don't see the full picture. You don't actually know what their lives are. Those people that you think have these amazing lives on social media that do all these kind of vlogs and whatnot, and their life just seems perfect. I promise you that is just not the case. No one's life is as amazing as it seems, especially on social media. I'll get comments sometimes that are just like, oh, he has such an amazing, perfect life. I wish I was living that life. And I kind of cringe at him a bit, and it upsets me a little bit, because I've now given you guys this idea or this portrait of my life that just isn't accurate. But at the same time, I'm not going to post the negatives and the downsides of my life, right? Because you're not supposed to really do that. And I've actually talked to a lot of people that are pretty big on social media and whatnot, and you'd think that they have just these amazing, perfect lives, right? They have everything that you could want for, yet they're struggling with things too that you don't see, that they don't post about. And they are just as human as anyone else. And there's an amazing hadith actually where the Prophet ﷺ says that if you're going to compare yourself with other people in the matters of this world, in the materialistic things, always look at the people that are below you, the people that have less money, that have less health, that have less power, because that makes you more grateful for the things that Allah has given you. But when you compare yourself with others in the terms of deen, in the terms of your religion and your afterlife, always look at people that are higher than you, people that are more pious, people that have really kind of figured that out, because that will raise your standards, first of all, and it'll also motivate you to kind of reach that level as well. The second thing to focus on this summer is to fix your sleep schedule. I cannot stress this enough. This is one of the most important things, especially in your early years, right? When you're still developing in your teens and your 20s, that we haven't really realized, that we kind of just brush off. Your sleep is so important for your growth in all aspects of your life. Your body needs that quality time to recover and replenish. And if you actually give your body the time it needs to refresh and to energize, you're actually going to attract a lot more good towards you, right? People are going to be more attracted and inclined towards you because you're bringing this positive vibe now. You're bringing this energy, right? No one wants to be around that person that's just grouchy all the time and slumps and's got crazy eye bags and just looks like they're about to kill somebody. Nobody wants to be friends with that person. Having more energy is going to also allow you to get more things done, right? You're going to put more effort in the gym. You're going to put more effort in your work, in your hobbies, in your passion. And everyone thinks that this starts in the morning, right? It starts with getting up early and starting your day fresh. But it actually starts the night before. Because if you go to sleep at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, you're not going to be able to wake up at 6, 7 a.m. And if you do, you're actually going to be more tired than if you were to just sleep in. Because now you've only gotten 4 or 5 hours of sleep and you're going to be energy deficient the rest of the day. So you need to sleep early, or at least on a reasonable, consistent time. And this is one of the hardest things that I've seen with young adults. Really having that discipline to go to sleep at 11 or 12 and just stay consistent with that. A lot of us, and I'm guilty of this as well, we'll just stay up on our phones or whatever till ungodly hours. And that has a huge effect on the rest of your day, the next day. Because you're not giving your body the energy that it needs. And especially if you're just sitting there, on your phone. Because I'm no scientist, right? But they've done research on what electronics and screens will do to you and to the quality of your sleep, right, at night. And so what you need to do, especially if you're serious about really leveling up this summer, is to set a time every night where lights are out, right? And if that time for me, it's midnight, it's 12. At least an hour before that, you don't use any screens or electronics, right? Phones off, laptops off, no TV, nothing. And you use that hour to wind down. I actually have a night routine that I've written down, and I try to do these every single night. And it really just consists of letting my body kind of wind down for the day. I'll read 5 pages of Quran and 5 pages of some other self-improvement book. I'll brush my teeth, and then I'll do like a 5-minute mobility routine, a couple stretches and whatnot. And that'll help my body kind of wind down and get ready for the night. And if you do that, I promise you're gonna wake up with so much more energy that you usually do. And when you do wake up, okay, this is the most important thing for really starting your day off right, is don't touch your phone. Do not let your phone be the first thing that you use in the morning. That's so bad for your brain and for your... Again, I'm no scientist, but I know neuroscientists have done studies on the effect of using your brain in the morning. What I'll do is that I also have a morning routine, and I don't touch my phone until all of these things are done, right? And I try to do all of them every day, but usually I'll do about, 50 to 75% of them, but at least it's something, right? It's better than me just waking up, grabbing my phone, and sitting in bed for another 30 minutes to an hour. So what I'll do is I'll wash my face and my hair, and I'll do my skincare routine kind of just to wake me up a bit. I'll read another 5 pages of Quran. I'll meditate for usually 3 to 5 minutes. And then I'll journal in the morning. I'll journal about the day before, kind of key things that happens and how I'm feeling. And I'll write a couple things that I'm grateful for. And then I'll write down my goals for the day, what I want to get done that day. All of that usually, just because I'm really slow in the morning, that usually takes me about an hour, which might seem like a lot, but let's be realistic. You probably spend an hour anyways when you get up, just on your phone, not really doing anything productive. This will, at least if you have a morning routine, it'll set your mind in the right mindset for the rest of the day. You'll get off with a good start, you'll have meditated, you'll have read your Quran, and you'll have done these things to really get you started on the right path. And I know that especially in summer, it's hard to stick to a morning and a night routine because it's summer, you don't have school the next day, right? You're free to kind of stay up at night and just mess around, right? And sleep in. But if you really want to see that improvement in yourself, you need to give your body the rest that it needs. You need to start your day with, the sunrise and let the night be for sleep. The third thing you need to do this summer is to work out. Listen, I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear I'm busy. I don't want to hear I got work, I got summer classes, any of that kind of stuff. If it's important for you, you're going to find the time to do it. And exercising, working out, lifting weights, doing a sport, whatever method you want to use is so important for your body. It's so important for your short-term and your long-term health. I already told you guys how busy my schedule is this summer, yet I'm still able to work out 4 to 6 times a week because you will make time for whatever you think is important. If you're not already working out or exercising, right? Going on a run, going to the gym, whatever you want it to be. If you're not already doing that, this is the time to start, because your future self is depending on you right now. Your future health, your aesthetics, your physique, because your future self is dependent on the things that you do right now. Whether you decide right now to start working out, that is going to affect your physique, your mental health, your physical health 2-3 years down the line. I know it can be difficult, and I know it can be intimidating when you're first starting. I've been working out for about 4 years, but it never actually stuck. I never actually, stayed consistent with it until about 1.5 years ago, right? Those first 2 years, I'd work out for 2 weeks and then I'd fall off. I'd work out for a month and then I'd stop going. And bless me. And it took me a while to really kind of latch on and stay consistent with it. But it was honestly one of the best things that I've done. And I mean that because the physical benefits that I've seen from it also translate to other things as well. And even though it took me so long to stay consistent with it, I'm still really thankful that I did stick with it, because it's honestly one of the best things that I've done, to be able to go to the gym every week and just stay consistent with it. That's translated to so many benefits in my life, not just physical. Because yes, I've gotten a little bigger, and I'm no Dwayne Johnson yet, but I have gotten a little bigger, and that has translated to more confidence, right? I'm more confident in myself. I'm healthier, right? I take care of my body more because I've put in this work. I put in so much work already. I don't want to let it go to waste, right? So I'm drinking a lot of water. I'm eating healthy. I'm doing all this other stuff. It's translated into so many other benefits. And in psychology, they call this a keystone habit. A keystone habit is a habit that if you do it, it translates to other habits as well. It's kind of like a snowball effect, because I could tell you to just drink water, right? And you could have that as one of your habits. But if you exercise, right, that's one habit that you've already built, but then that's going to snowball into you drinking water, right? Because you exercise, you're going to sweat, you're going to be thirsty, and so you're going to start drinking more water. You're also going to be more careful of what you eat. You're going to start dieting properly. You're going to start doing all these other habits just because of this one habit that you started, which is exercise. The fourth thing and the last thing that I'm going to mention is to write down your goals. You write down your daily goals, your monthly goals, and your yearly goals. This one is really important because it gives you something to work for. It gives you something to aim for. If you don't have clear goals, it's going to be a lot harder to stick to these habits that you want to accomplish. Like I mentioned earlier, in my morning routine, I write down my daily goals every single day, what I want to accomplish for that day. And so that gives me something right in front of me that I can look at and mark off as I'm finishing those things. If I didn't write down my daily goals, I know for a fact that I would accomplish a lot less, because it's not clear, it's not straight in front of me what I want to do. And then writing down your yearly goals, your long-term goals, can be really motivating, right? It gives you this big goal to kind of really work for, and it drives something from inside of you. You have this passion all of a sudden now to really get after this big goal that you have. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but we got the whole damn. On my 19th birthday, I actually wrote down goals that I wanted to have accomplished by the time I was 21. By the time you're watching this video, I'm probably already 21. But the point is that it was so cool looking back now at those goals and just seeing kind of how far I've came. Because when we put in that daily work, right, you don't really see the progress because it's just the same thing every day. But then when you look back over the last year or 2 years, you see how big of an impact you've made on your life. For example, one of the goals that I had, by the time I'm 21, I wanted to have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And subhanAllah, we've absolutely shattered that. Like when I was 19, I had absolutely no idea that any of this was gonna happen with TikTok, with Instagram, with YouTube, right? But because I constantly put in that work, every single day I did a little bit, it's grown into something that I would have never imagined when I was 19. But the point is that I had that goal in mind. I had that goal in mind 2 years ago. And if I didn't write that down, I don't think I would have accomplished it. If you really want something in the future, write it down. Ask yourself that question of what if? What if I actually reach that goal? What if I open up that business that I've always wanted to open? What if I finally start that YouTube channel? What if I do these things that I'm afraid of doing, of starting for whatever reason? What if I actually did them and stayed consistent with them? How different would my life be? And that question and you reflecting over it will light a fire inside of you. And that fire will push you to stay consistent with those goals and to work towards them. I also want you to write down in the comments what goals that you have for this summer so I can take a look at them and we can all kind of help each other really become better people and accomplish those goals. That is going to be it for me. Thank you guys for watching another video and I'll catch you later. Assalamu alaikum.